Well, everyone, it's time for us to go ahead and talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 and see how this phone pretty much holds up in the middle part of 2022. Now, it's very interesting because every single year I pretty much talk about this specific phone in the middle part of this year, and a lot of people still like this device. A lot of people still probably use this phone, and to be honest, I think Samsung did a tremendous job back in 2018 when they initially dropped this specific device. Now, it's aged quite a bit since, the first time it's been released. It's not getting support with software really that much anymore, but when I look at this phone and I look at the longevity of what this phone had, as well as the last that it kind of signified for the Note lineup, I still think of this phone as one of the best Samsung phones ever made, especially one of the best Samsung Galaxy Note devices, Samsung's ever made. Now, looking at the body, not really much has changed from my first initial review I made of this thing, earlier on this year, or even the first review I did of this thing in 2019. Now, the body, I will say with the screen, 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display, 1440p. Even now when I'm looking at this display right now, it still looks very good. And even when I look at maybe a lot of the newer phones that have came out, even the Galaxy S22, the Note 9's panel with its curved glass still looks very sharp, still looks very good in this day and age. The only thing that it's missing is a 120Hz panel. If this phone had 120Hz on the front, I think it would look great, to be honest, but still it looks very, very good for sure. Another big thing, USB Type-C, S Pen, headphone jack, and a micro SD card slot. Those are things we can't even comprehend having on our phone anymore, and this specific device pretty much has it all. So that's another really, really big thing with this version of phone 2. And when I look at this phone, that is probably one of the biggest advantages that we have with having a phone like this in this day and age. Now, on top of that, with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, we still have a premium back, which is another really big asset, but we also have something with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9's camera that still holds up very well. Dual camera setup, a wide and a telephoto lens, definitely not the best layout ever, but it's still very good. 4K at 60, kind of a dual camera setup on the front too, which is very interesting. And I'll definitely tell you, if you have a phone like this in this day and age with this type of camera, I still think it holds up fairly well in this day and age too. So that's another pretty big advantage with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. On top of that, the performance of this device is probably one of my favorite things about it, to be honest. This thing still has that Snapdragon 845 chipset inside with 6 gigs of RAM on the base model and then 8 gigs of RAM on the top tier model. Now, some of the things that have changed when this phone initially came out were the new Galaxy S22s, and to be honest, when I look at the S22s and I look at the Note 9, there's a lot of similarity, not a ton of overlap, but if you got the 8GB of RAM option for the Note 9, well, that's how much, the base model S22 and S22 Plus also have. It may be a little bit slower of a variant, all that other stuff, but it's still really cool this phone has or can have the same amount of RAM as those devices. Now, whenever I really use the Note 9 for right now, I've tested some Genshin Impact gameplay and some other gameplay on this specific phone, and I think it's held up very, very well in that standpoint. Because so many games nowadays have varying graphics you can kind of tune for, you can still get really good gameplay and really good footage from these type of games if you just go ahead and tinker around with the graphics. So I've always felt like that was something really cool that a lot of these game developers are starting to do, and that's another really big advantage with the Note 9. The battery life is also a really cool thing. It's 4,000 milliamp hours, very, very big battery for the most part. Again, in this day and age, a little bit different just because, it's degraded a little bit and most phones are now over 4,000. When I look at this phone in 2022, I think this phone, the body and the performance and everything is still kind of good, but the software is the biggest thing that's kind of pushing it away. I probably wouldn't recommend buying this thing just because of it being outdated with software, but I still think it's a really cool phone in that regard, that it's, not supported with software anymore, but it feels so premium, it looks so good, it performs so good, the screen is beautiful, USB Type-C, micro SD card slot, so much stuff. I love this phone a lot. It's sad to see it go, but that's kind of how I see it, holding up in 2022. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.